Okay, YouTubers, back with another crazy idea. I don't know if you saw my cotton ball. Really don't have the lighting right in here, but anyway, the cotton ball, the gel wax cotton balls that Mike at Bushcraft Barton's made, and he gave me the idea, and I made some. Well, anyway, I bought a whole tub of this stuff, so now I got to do something with it. Right? I can't just let it sit there. So I made some cotton balls. They work great. They got like a 10-minute burn time on them. But today I'm going to make what's called a Tinder rope, and this is 100% cotton rope, 3/4 of an inch in diameter. And what you'll notice about cotton rope is that it comes unraveled really easily. But it's this, you know, it's cotton. So what I'm going to do, I taped the ends here, if I can find the end of it. You can never find the end of a tape. There we go. Now I'm thinking it was a bad idea altogether. Okay, so there we go. Really what you want to do is take these apart. You want these individual strands of rope. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and make 3 of these. So I bought 2 feet of rope, so I'm gonna cut that about in half. So as usual, we have a chance to use our Kershaw, oh so sweet. And the lighting, I just realized, is really bad because I can't even see the blade on my knife. But anyway, I'm just going to cut those right there. Got time to sharpen the blade. But now I've got 3 individual ropes. Okay? And you'll see what I'm going to do with them in a second. But part of what this little project requires is some way to put the burning end of the Tinder rope out when you're done with it. So what's commonly done is you'll have a little piece of copper pipe or something, metal pipe, and just you need about 2 inches long for each one. So let me get got my tubing cutter here. So I can do this now. You got to be careful with this tubing. This is 11/32. Okay, but it's a very thin wall. You'll find this in the project section, you know, at Ace Hardware. It's not in the plumbing section. It's more of a, you know, hobby type thing, hobby type material. So you gotta be really careful, because I could crush that with this tubing cutter if I wanted to. So what I'm gonna do is just barely tighten it. Go around a few times, barely tighten it. And you can see. Now, I'm going to cut a few more of these, and I'll be right back. Now, one thing about a tubing cutter is that it leaves these nice little cut ends on that you don't have to sand, but the bad part about it is it kind of rolls it over and it changes the diameter. And I'm hoping I can get my rope through there since that's happened, but we'll see. Now let's cook some wax. I kind of got myself in trouble with my wife. If you're gonna dedicate some tongs, well, that's really what I meant to say, is that you need to dedicate a pot, but I can't see it. In there, I guess you can, it's shiny. A pot and whatever tool you're going to use, because it is just messy. Okay? So I'm going to save this pot and these tongs. I'm going to have to buy my wife a new pair of tongs now. But just remember that. We're just going to go ahead and throw that bugger in there. Can't see me, but I'm trying to dig this out here. I want a pretty good bit in there because I'm going to do 3 ropes. I'm going to do one more handful. You can throw this stuff, you can put it back in here when you're done, so it's not like you're really wasting it. Okay, let's turn on the heat. Now again, you don't want to get this too hot, you just want to melt it. For obvious reasons, it is flammable. So, while that's heating up and melting, I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot in one end of my rope. Okay. This stuff will come in, unfrayed. It'll come undone very easily. So, before it gets out of hand, you can see just by me trying to tie a knot in it, it wants to come undone. So, there's a knot in that end. I'm going to leave this end undone. Untied, I guess I would say. Makes me a little nervous when it starts smoking like that. I think I'm going to turn the heat down. Right about there. Okay, I think that's good enough. So what I'm going to do is just throw my ropes in there and pull it out. Now you don't want to soak it very long. Just really want to get it wet and pull it out. Do some cotton balls on here. One thing with the cotton balls is you just want to kind of toss them in there and dip them just for a second. And get them out. We had some cotton balls that we did last time that we soaked too long. I really like a big piece of rubber. I think this is going to work better. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just pour this back in here. Hopefully it's not going to melt my container. Wow. Almost went back to where it was. That's a pretty efficient use. Okay, so here's what we have. We have 3 Tinder ropes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cotton balls. And I'll actually probably give a few of these away because one of these will last me a long time. But the Tinder ropes will last a long time. You can probably start 100 fires with one of these things. So anyway, when these dry, we're going to put them together and put them to the test. Now you can see what the piece of metal tubing is for. What you'll do is you'll thread the rope through there after this is kind of dried, and it's adjustable. So you slide this back and forth depending on how much of rope you want to show and burn at any one time. So obviously if you lit this and you didn't have this metal tube on here, the whole thing would eventually burn. So this way you can say, okay, I just need a 1/2 inch or whatever. I'm going to let that burn a little while. Then on my next fire, I'll slide this down and have a new fresh piece there. Okay, Let's try to light this puppy with my fire steel, my ferro rod. There we go. As you can see, I can pick this up now and place it wherever I want it. Okay, so I'm just going to place it. I'm going to leave the rest of it out from underneath the fire, and I'm just going to place it at the edge of my tinder bundle. That tinder bundle's green, by the way. That's why it's taken a while. Everything's wet and it's been snowing, and so all I have is some wet tinder. That's why it's smoking the way it is. But you can see I could easily start a pretty big fire, or a fire, if I did have wet tinder. And that's really the purpose for these, is that if you have wet tinder and you don't, this will give you a chance to dry out whatever tinder you have. And you can see I can hold it like a candle. Now, when I'm ready for it, ooh, I'm about to light myself on fire. When you're ready for it to go out, you just slide it over the end like that. So, and there you go. I think I'm going to actually try one of these without the, this one here doesn't have the brass barrel on it. Let's see what happens when I light it, to see if you even need it. Now my tinder bundle's going out because I'm not tending it. I'm just letting it burn out, but actually this is pretty neat. I didn't think this would happen, but the gel wax is keeping the entire rope from catching fire to a certain extent. So where it helps the cotton ball to stay burning a long time, it's also minimizing the amount, burnt on the rope. So if you just wanted to take your knife and cut off little pieces, if you didn't want to go through the trouble of threading that through the brass pipe, you could cut off little pieces of this tinder rope and just lay it under your tinder bundle. So I guess when you're going to put it out, you can just kind of smother it out. Let's see if we can do that. Yep. You can just smother it out and it'll be ready for the next fire. Pretty cool. Let's test our theory on just cutting little pieces. See if it'll act like a cotton ball. Ouch, it's still hot. Oh, ow. Okay, so this is your little experiment. If you just want to cut a little piece of tinder rope and put it, start it. There we go. That's our tinder rope burning there now. We'll see how long it burns. Well, anyway, I won't bore you with that, but it should burn at least 10 minutes. That's how long a cotton ball will burn with the gel wax. So, excuse me, still getting over a cold. Alright, well thanks guys. Just another idea. Starting fires in a wet environment. Thanks.